Welcome back. Another episode. So, what we're going to talk about today is how to cope with the realities of life. See, a lot of people have very difficult lives, and not really difficult lives, but the thing is, life is a very complex and also very simple game. And what makes life so fucking irritating and so hard for humans is that we have the ability to think. Like, if you're really a thinker, you begin to understand, like, holy shit, okay, I get thrown into this fucking existence, into circumstances I did not choose. And I know at some point in my life, I'm going to die. Like, I know I got a certain amount of years and I'm going to get to exist on this planet, and I'm going to die. And I don't know when I'm going to die, unless I choose to do suicide. But then if you choose suicide, then that's kind of like just giving up on the game. You got to take a natural way out. So what most humans have a difficulty doing is understanding that harsh reality that I have to be able to work, maintain, have kids, and then die. And that's going to be everything. That's my life. That's that. And when it comes down to the ground root of what your life is, that is what your life is going to be. You're born into circumstances you don't choose. You then have to grow up. You have to start finding skill sets to be able to work. You then have to have a family. Well, you don't have to have a family, but it kind of defeats the purpose if you don't have a family. And then you have to leave your family in a better position than you were when you first were thrown into this existence. And then you have to die one day. So when you think about that just on its own, if you think about that deeply, that's enough to drive a motherfucking crazy. And I think most human beings should probably have some type of mental illness to some degree, because that's a very difficult thing to process. Like, it's very easy for a lion, tiger, all these other animals to survive because they don't think that far in advance about death. They just think about today, and they're always living in the now. And one of the things you have to start to learn how to do is how to live in the now. So in this video, I'm going to help you with 4 ways to learn how to cope with the harsh reality of what is life, man, because it's a motherfucker. And I think a lot of young people, this is why they start looking for leaders or saviors to help get them to a particular point, because they really don't know how to cope with this existence. So they just follow the pathway that somebody set out for them, because that way they can choose their time easily and they don't have to think as much. But that is a dangerous path, because then you roll into the NPC path. And you don't want the NPC path. Very sad, very sad. So the 4 ways that you're going to have to learn how to cope with the reality of life is you have to understand and accept the position that you are in currently and survey the land and figure out how to play yourself into a better role, because life is about advancing. You want to keep getting more territory, more resources, so you can better the existence of your future people when they eventually get here, which is known as your family. 2, you have to understand death is inevitable, but you have to find solace in the fact that none of this stuff really matters. Like, it matters, but it doesn't really matter, because as much as you do fear death, when you die, it's over. So everything you thought, all your fears, all that other shit is gone. And you don't get to choose your death. So when it happens, it's like, even that fear that you have, it's gone. So it's like you don't exist anymore. So that's kind of beautiful. 3rd, you got to understand everybody's coping with death. And so everything that you see that everybody does is their mechanism to be able to cope with the idea of life and that they're going to die one day. So when you begin to understand that, it allows you to kind of play the land a little bit easier, understand how to help people better. 4, be free and have fun. Like, listen, this is going to be a short ride or a long ride, depending on how long you get to exist. But as long as you're living there now and you're being free and you're having fun, it feels like it's an infinite amount of time. And last, stop worrying so much. Stop worrying. The more you worry, the worse it gets. You're just building a fear base that doesn't need to exist. So we're going to go over 1, which is accept your position and understand you can always play yourself into a better position or a better role in life. So for young men, and this is one of the tough things we have to deal with, is that when you get thrown into this world, you start at the bottom of the ladder, the bottom of the hierarchy. No matter how high you are up the ladder, there's always a level above you. So the first thing you need to start to realize if you're going to be able to cope with your existence is, I did not choose the circumstances by which I was brought into this planet, but I get to choose the circumstances by which I leave. And that's a very fulfilling and fills you with vigor, because now you understand I have the ability to change how I'm living and how the people around me are living, and I can control my territory for the brief period of time I get to exist on this planet. And that's enough to make you keep going every day and keep trying, because when you understand that you can change the circumstances of your life, you're going to start doing it. Most people don't think they can change the circumstances of their life, so they settle with what they're living as. and they simply just accept this terrible fate, and they slowly dwindle away, and they lose the fire of themselves. And if you don't want to lose that fire, if you want to continue to be able to go and be able to cope with this reality, you have to be striving every day for some new experience. And that's what life is about. The more new experiences you get, the better time seems to pass, because it doesn't feel like you're on a hamster wheel of just fucking redundant nonsense over and over and over and over and over and over again. So really take inventory of your life. Look and survey. Understand that I can play myself in a better position. I got to look at what I have around me and then be able to grow what that is around me, and then take those resources and go to a new area and prosper and plant new seeds in a new area. Then keep repeating the process. And that's all the game is about. It's about building and growing. That is what life is about. The more you build, the more you grow, the freer you become, and the harder it is for you to sit there and really be in your head and cope, because you're so busy with building. You're so busy with trying to make life better for yourself in the future that you kind of forget, oh, I'm going to die one day. Just one day just comes, you're like, oh, well, it was a fun time while I was here. I got to do a lot of shit. I built a lot of things, and I can die happily. 2, understand death is inevitable. But you got to find solace that your spirit will live on in the other people that you inspired and help in this lifetime. See, one of the things that helps me, really motivates me to keep making these videos and keep putting content out and keep just doing shit every day to try to make my time more enjoyable, is that I take solace that I'm going to inspire some kid. I'm going to help somebody out. I'm going to help build better men so the future is better for those that come after us. And when you have a mission like that, where you can freely live your life knowing that I'm here to help others and serve my community and build communities, you don't think so much about the end game. You think about the longer plan and understand that my life and my energy is to be put in and dispersed into other people so then they can go do the same thing. So I know when I die, I left the earth a better place than I found it. And that's one of the things they always teach you in sports is like, leave this place better than you found it. Don't be the person who fucking ruins this place. Be the person who builds this place. Every place that you should go, there should be positive memories that this person did good fucking deeds in this fucking territory. And then that inspires other people to grow and to also do good deeds. And so when you get to the end of your life, after living decades, you get to sit back and say, wow, I remember when this was just fucking a barren land. There was nothing here. Now there's houses, there's farms, there's kids running around, there's families, there's technology being built. There's things that are wonderful. And I was a part of that. And that's enough to really inspire a motherfucker to keep going. And it makes you focus so much less on death and think about the large community as a whole as a giant web of life. And when you look at life as a giant web of life, you realize, hey, it's just my time to go. It's okay. It's just the cope with reality. And that's the way I choose to cope with reality. 3rd, you have to understand that everybody is coping with death. Because death is a very traumatic thing to experience. Because you only get one death, you only get one birth. So, like, it's kind of like a thing you want to focus on because it's like, shit, I only get one of these. It's like you only get one chance to go to prom. So it's kind of stupid, but you have to understand, when you're interacting with people, and you're talking, communicating with people, you have to understand, all people are going through some trauma. Life is a whole trauma game. Everybody's traumatized by some degree of the things they experienced in life, whether good or bad. We all have trauma that is within us. And when you understand that everybody has some sort of trauma that they have gone through in life, you can understand and you give a little bit more forgiveness for why life is so harsh in the reality of life, because you don't know everybody's true backstory, how long they prospered up to the certain point of life that they got to. So I'm a lot more forgiving, and it's also very what's the word? It's very humanizing to know that person, my neighbor Sally across the street, she's dealing with the coping of life the same way I'm dealing with coping in life. And that we understand we're all even in death. We all have to face the same ending. No matter how rich we were, how poor, how strong, how weak, at the end of the day, we're all even when we're in the grave. We're just gone. And so you can connect with people because when you can understand we all have a common endpoint, which is death, it's something we can all connect over. And it helps you relate to your fellow man easier because you understand he's got to die, I got to die. So let's make this time pleasurable. Why are we fighting with each other when we don't have to? Like, we all got to go one day. So let's make this as fun of a ride as we possibly can before we come to our end date. And when you come in with that mentality, it helps you cope with reality because you understand we're all trauma human beings that know we're going to lose our parents, we're going to lose our family, we're going to lose friends, we're going to have destruction, we're going to have war, we're going to have famine. But at the end of the day, as long as we're here and as long as we're able to connect over this thing called life, it makes coping a little bit easier. It's kind of like Alcohol Anonymous. Like the reason all Alcohol Anonymous can get together and they can build a bond, or same thing with war veterans, is that they all share a common trauma, which is they experience some real harsh shit in life. And it's good to know that you're not alone in feeling this way, because we all feel this way. Fourth, when you understand that we all are trauma-based organisms and we're all going to die, be free. Have fun. Like, why are you out here stressing so much about life and fighting everything and just being mad and angry? It's like, understand, man. Be free. No matter what you do in this life, the result's going to be the same. So if my result's going to be the same no matter what, let me have a little bit of fun. Let me smile. Let me dance a little bit. Let me listen to some fun music. Let me go out and have new experiences. Let me understand that my meaning of life is not what I gain, but what I experienced. Who did I inspire? Who did I grow? What did I build? Who did I help? Can I look back on my deathbed and say, damn, I had a fun, free life, man. I had a very fun fucking life. I lived freely. I talked freely. I got to experience what it's like to be a human being for 100 to 80 years. And so when you understand that, it makes everything else a little bit more easier to deal with, because it's like, as long as you're free and you're living life in your terms, you can go out the way you want to go. And that's what makes prison so fucking miserable for people, is because the only thing that man ever really had is freedom. And once you take a man's freedom away, you took away pretty much everything he could ever want. Very few people ever want to be unfree, unless they're dum-dums, because they need to be told what to do. But if you're a logical thinking human being, which I assume you are because you're listening to my channel, you want to be free. Be free, man. Have fun. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. You have the ability to get up, leave your fucking job, get in your car and drive 100 miles to anywhere and just go live in the woods if you want to. Nobody's stopping you. You got the ability to quit your current job, go start a family, get into fucking woodworking, live in a cabin. You can do it. There's no limitations on what you can do in this life as long as you're willing to put the work in and deal with the trade-offs of what comes with that life. So understand that, prosper, and be free. Have fun. It's going to end one day. It's like a roller coaster, man. What's the point of being all fucking on a fucking roller coaster? Let your hands ring loose. If the roller coaster is going to crash and fucking blow up, it was going to crash and blow up anyway. So you might as well go out with your hands fucking free, yelling to the top of your lungs, having fun, enjoying the fucking time. And last thing, stop worrying. Listen, worrying does nothing for you. Like, there's an old German proverb which says that the wolf in our fear is much larger than it actually is. Like, you might be scared to see that big dog across the street, but guess what? Your fear is going to make that dog look way bigger than what it actually is. But that dog's just a dog. You kick that thing in the fucking throat. Run away. Learn how to face things when they come to you. The more you worry and fear things, the harder life's going to be. And when you're able to stop worrying and just live and just focus on what's in front of you and what you can do now, life gets easy. Like, what's the point of worrying about World War III or nukes and all this other shit? What's the point of worrying about? Can you control it? Can you stop it? No, you can't stop it. So why am I going to sit around and worry about it? Why am I worried about politics all day? Why am I worried about what baby mama's doing over there and fucking crossing town fucking on a new nigga? What does that matter to me? I can't stop it. Stop worrying about things that you can't control. That's the big problem that a lot of humans do. They worry about shit they cannot control, and because they cannot control it, it makes them have bigger fears and worry, and then they end up doing stupid shit because they start thinking it's all about them. And all worrying is basically your ego trying to protect itself from shit that should be coming hypothetically to you. And so I try to preach to people, reality is harsh. It's harsh. It's difficult. It's a lot. But you got to be bigger than reality. Understand that this life is temporary. It's borrowed. It's like it's God's way of repaying you. Like, hey, look, man, I created this wonderful thing. Go have fun in it, man. Go enjoy the world. Don't let man's bullshit concepts and psyops that he do fuck you from having a wonderful, beautiful life. It's your life. You get to choose what you want to do with it. If as long as you're willing to accept the results of your choices, what is there to fear? Appreciate y'all listening. Be blessed on this Sunday. Talk soon.